Welcome to Pick Central. Today it is myself, Clemmer, and Ken Jack filling in. The boys are all traveling. Some of the boys are hurt. Some of the boys are.
We have one of our guys is on the IL.
Yeah, listen, Pick Central's a little down bad today because we don't know where our boys are. You know.
Oh, I next time I see Bosco is going to be in Chicago for the dozen.
Yeah, me too.
And sling and all.
Yeah. It was funny last night. Robbie Fox posted a video of him and Big Ev, and it was just like they put him in the cage for like the last fights, like final decision. They're all like, we didn't know what to do, so we just filmed the other people. It was funny to see them with PFL. Listen, there's we're gonna talk a little the game tonight. Celtics, Mavs. We'll do some baseball, a little NFL, and then just get everybody out of here on a Friday. But tonight, the Celtics are up against it.
Up against it?
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean? I don't
You
understand.
don't know?
You didn't hear the news?
Oh, what is the news?
Tell him, Ken Jack.
Today's head referee.
Oh,
Scott
yes.
Foster,
Oh, no, that's true. Yes, that's
Up
true.
against it.
Extender, the great extender. And Brothers is on the replay.
That's
as well.
true.
You are fucked.
There again.
This does remind me a little of the last time the Celtics won the title, which was in 08, and they were up 3-1, and they were playing the Lakers, and the Lakers won in L.A., and then they came back to Boston, and it was the most fun sporting event of my life. They just completely that I was at.
Let's be honest. I think that's what's gonna. I think the Mavs are gonna win tonight, and then they come to win at home, Game 5 on
It's
Monday.
not crazy. I don't think that's a crazy take.
No, what's the spread tonight?
It's Celtics. Oh, okay. So interesting. It opened Celtics. I believe it opened Celtics -1, and now it's Celtics +1.
Mhm.
But either way, pick them.
That makes sense. I think you take the Mavs tonight. I think
Took them at media.
I think Luka plays well tonight. He apologized for how he played. Like he apologized for his actions to his team and stuff. I think that he kind of just has a good game. It'll be close. They might win, and then they'll probably lose in Game 5.
Not crazy. So I jumped on the Celtics money line. Obviously I'm a fan. Is probably some bias there. But the other thing though is the Celtics have played the Mavericks 5 times this year, won all 5. Like until that streak breaks, I'm gonna keep betting Celtics money line because why not?
What am I gonna say? No, they keep beating them. So
one bet I do like tonight, and so I'm interested in this. This could be Al Horford's last game, and I think he probably should retire at the end of the year. He's definitely done a nice job filling in for Porzingis, but he has not been consistent. And the game gets worse. You see him progressively getting worse.
He's like 40 years old.
Yeah, he's old. All right. I mean, his rookie year was the last time the Celtics won a title. That shows you how long he's been in the league. So the over/under for his points is 9.5. And if the over/9.5 is +120, I could see a real situation where the Celtics just let him, especially they're up by a little bit, let him kind of go out on his own and have a nice little shooting game at the end of the
He's like one of the few guys on the Celtics I'm excited to win. You know what I mean? He deserves a ring. He's a guy that's been in the league forever, a guy very likable.
You know, like Tatum and Brown getting a ring doesn't do anything for you?
Young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Horford's a guy that's been around the league forever, paid his dues.
Porzingis getting a ring doesn't do anything?
Also, same thing as Tatum and Brown.
Yeah.
They're still pretty young.
It's tough. It's pretty right. There isn't, other than Horford, because Ben Holiday already has one. What do we? There isn't that guy. It's
you're happy that he got one,
right?
Yeah, I think, and this will completely vary on who you talk to, but Chris Paul would be up there as one of those guys where I'm sure a lot of people are he's a guy.
I'm sure a lot of people. I'd be like,
no, I think most people are kind of happy he doesn't have one. But I get what you mean
I get what you mean, right? No,
yeah, I'm kind of happy he doesn't have one at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of anyone that I would be happy for.
Like an older player.
I'd be happy for Pat Bev.
For sure.
Oh, of course, yeah, but we know him, and
No, without knowing him.
Oh, okay.
He's been on so many teams, and a lot of teams trade for him at the deadline, so they help him out their team, and it's just.
So Kyle Lowry.
He has one.
Yeah, he has one.
Oh, true.
Raptors.
Yeah.
He was on that team. Brooke Lopez has one. I'm just looking at the oldest people in the league.
I know, right?
Joe Ingles, get the fuck out of here.
Paul George.
I wouldn't. I don't. Think
That's not a bad call though, Phil. Maybe not yet, but he's a year or two away from getting that territory.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I hope he never wins one unless he plays for the Knicks. But that's
this is what I wanted to bring.
Hey,
up.
Paul George, that much, huh?
Yeah, he's a loser.
I wanted to bring this up. I actually give me a. Phil doesn't know how to pull it up, so I saw a video today of Gilbert Arenas.
Mhm.
Gilbert Arenas was talking on his podcast, and he said that Dolan never said anything, but the big three wanted a fresh start. The LeBron, Wade, and Bosh wanted a fresh start for their team, like to not like because obviously Bosh and LeBron went to Miami.
Right.
They all wanted to go to New York,
Okay.
and that was the plan. The plan was serious, which obviously Gilbert Arenas could be lying.
I don't know how much of this I believe, but okay, I'll hear you.
It'd be a weird thing to lie about, I guess.
He's a weird guy, though.
I get also he's a weird guy, but this is what he said. That the plan was for them to go to New York, but Dolan fucked up by paying Stoudemire so much money. And also, they didn't want to play with Stoudemire, so they said, no, we're just going to go to Miami. It makes sense.
It does.
Does the time make sense, though?
Because he was like...
Stoudemire was the first guy. They paid him before they paid.
But also, I don't think it meant about paying. I think it was more like he was on the team.
Gotcha.
And like that's like a star for them. And they were like, we're already the stars. We don't need...
I guess when did they want this fresh start, though? Because, like...
They wanted to go there to team up with Melo, not to team up with D-Wade in New York.
Yes, I think that's exactly what... I think
Melo
that's what he
and
was
Melo.
saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw it this morning, and then I clicked
Yeah, I don't know
away
if
from
the
it.
time works out, though, because, Amari was only there for 4 years, and 4 of those years they were all in Miami together, those 3 guys.
That's what he's saying.
Playing, yeah.
So then the 5th year...
Saying that they would have...
By the end of
they were
that...
in Miami, before they went to Miami, they're saying.
Oh!
Yeah.
Like, they picked Miami. They were going to pick New York, but
I see what you're saying.
instead of
okay.
New York, they went to
Right.
Miami.
Okay, I
So
understand.
it makes sense of the timing because they were...
Oh, yeah,
there,
that makes... That could add up. Because, I remember at that time, I would have bet a lot of money that LeBron's going to the Knicks.
And that's
That's all you heard for 3
and that's
years.
why I believed it. I mean, we would come out of Penn Station. They had a fucking billboard of him.
Oh wow, yeah, no, the timing actually does match up perfectly. Both, it was I thought LeBron was after like 2011, that was 2010, and that's exactly when Stoudemire signed.
Yeah, signed. So they signed.
that was all that same free. That was the whole thing. Yeah.
And they were like, no, we don't want to play with. I would. Phil, how do you feel about that?
But we could have had LeBron.
No,
And not just LeBron.
We would have LeBron, Bosh, and Wade.
I mean,
Or LeBron, Rush, and Melo.
it would have been.
LeBron,
It would have been cool, but I don't want to dwell on something that was 14
No,
years ago.
no.
I'd rather live in a present.
No. I think that is a fair thing when you have like the guy who in his prime would have went to your team, but you have a moron of a owner.
Yeah.
I think we all know that. That's not even.
He's the
He's
worst.
the worst owner.
He's awful.
There just is, and he could go fuck himself because he sucks.
Stupid band.
You only hear about the owner when the team's doing bad, and the Knicks have been pretty good the last 2 years. So you haven't heard much about Dolan the last.
That's
2
not really
years.
true though, Phil. Robert Kraft is pretty successful. We hear about him. Stuart Steimer is pretty
You're
successful.
only
we hear about
hearing
him.
bad stuff about Kraft because.
No, but
But
Dolan
you heard
has
good
been
stuff
bad.
about Kraft for the 25 years before that,
But
though.
also, Dolan's a known loser.
Dolan just sucks.
We
No, I
also,
agree, but, like-
he hates us.
There are owners that are well respected in sports. You hear about it.
Dolan's a bad owner, but he hasn't been a thought to me the last 2 years because the Knicks have made the playoffs the last 2 years. I don't think about that stuff.
But the playoffs, making the playoffs isn't that great, Phil.
Like that's what-
Clemmer, I've had like 5
But
playoffs in my
Clemmer
life.
is, but you're both right. But Clemmer's right where it's like we're not the fucking Wizards. Like we're a huge market
Yeah,
team.
New
that
York
is,
Knicks.
like
Yes,
it
very
was-
underwhelming.
This was something I thought about back then. When the team wins, I don't think about
But
that.
you haven't really
you're-
won anything. You don't win. You're not winning.
That's true. I get what.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but making the second round is
Yes,
shit.
Clemmer, congrats on your title tonight.
No, but, like-
we get it. You have to stroke yourself.
No,
and just-
Phil,
you're gonna be
I'm-
a champion tonight.
Phil,
you'll have
Phil,
seen this title, the
no,
08 title,
no.
Larry Bird, all 16 or whatever they had before that. Congrats.
You do the same thing with baseball teams, man. If a baseball team made it to the the LDS 2 years in a row, you'd be like, that team's a loser. You just call Paul George a loser. You just did it on this show.
You called them losers, but I don't. When the Knicks are making the second round of the playoffs, I don't sit here and be like, "God damn, Dolan sucks." When they're 25 and like whatever, that's when you start getting mad at ownership when they're not putting a good product.
But you almost
out
should
there.
get madder now because like you're one step away from being
Why
that
am I
team.
mad at him for now? You're talking about something from 14 fucking years ago.
I think it's something to think about. You would have had 2, 3, 4 titles.
Yes, I think about stuff from 14 years ago.
I don't know,
Well, I
man.
think we're talking about it now
Yeah,
for
it's-
the
it's
show.
an interesting
but I
story.
think it is an interesting story where it's like he signed Stoudemire, which is like it was cool at the moment, I guess.
He was.
It was really good, but like you could have had LeBron and Bosh. Like
And you can't call Paul George a loser and say you're winning. That's just not fair.
I'm still looking at
Sorry, Phil. I mean, you just can't, right? You must agree with that, right?
No, you're right. I'm just.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. You're a Knicks fan. I'm a Mets fan, man. I'm a Jets fan. I get it. Like they're just some teams just. It's tough, but when they do win, though, it's gonna feel better. Like it's gonna be the most amazing win.
Was there any free agent the Mets close to signing in the '90s that you still think about?
Well, the big thing was always the Griffey trade, right?
Yeah.
But like that would have probably blown up in our face because we were so bad with the
I
Reds.
think about
A-Rod. There was always that rumor.
I think about a lot of things that should have happened. Like even like the Yankees with Bryce Harper. Like I feel like that was a
huge
match made in heaven,
Yes.
and we did not get that done. Like that's something that's just like.
But then if they win a World Series, you're not gonna be thinking about that.
Yeah, but they haven't. Like, and that's what we're talking about with the Knicks and stuff. Like where like if we had Bryce Harper, the Yankees would have won
So
several.
healthy
World
debate.
Series.
Who would you rather have on the team right now, Bryce Harper or Juan Soto?
Right now,
That's not the question, though.
not the question.
You're right. You had the wrong guy. It's Juan Soto or Mike Stan.
Yeah. No, it's no.
No, that's
It's
not. what
Mike-
we're
Sorry,
talking
excuse
about.
me.
Or it's
Bryce Harper or Giancarlo
yes,
Stanton. Excuse me.
and that's an obvious.
I also said Mike Stan because I'm 1,000 years old too, by the way.
It's Mike still.
Fine.
Actually, I would actually rather Mike Stanton.
Oh, that'd be incredible if we get Mike Stanton.
Yeah, I don't want.
There are two Mike Stans. There's
I don't
also Mike
want-
Stan, the reliever, too, for the Yankees.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, well, I don't. Want,
Fuck that guy. You're a Yankees fan. He helped you get 3 titles.
We're back to where he's the OG Mike Stanton.
yeah, I want Mike.
I'm just saying, you
Hall of
should
Fame
put a lot of respect. Mike Stanton, Jeff Nelson, and Mariano Rivera are the reasons you guys won a lot.
Hall of Fame.
Well,
Mike
Mariano
Stanton is
Rivera
what we're talking
was a huge.
No,
reason
but
we-
those guys were incredible.
I
Yankees
know.
had the lead in the 7th inning. It was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You should never say fuck Mike Stanton.
You physically have said fuck Mike Stanton many times. You said he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
Well, the Giancarlo Stanton. Right. I do say that, yes. I also say he's not a good baseball player.
Thank you, Clemmer, every single time Stanton hits a home run. And now
Okay, do you thank me when he goes 0 for 20 or 0 for the Dodgers series? What do you think then?
I'm just gonna. We're not.
0 for the Dodgers series.
We're not doing Stanton talk today because he's tied for 6th in the MLB for home runs, and that's all I want, and that's all we're gonna leave it at.
I'll say right now, the Yankees are an incredible team, and the Yankees are so good that you can have someone who has an on base of 270 as a DH and still win.
And
That's how good the
also,
Yankees are.
have tied for 6th in the MLB for home runs.
Right. That's all. It's just right.
That's all he needs to do for this lineup.
Okay. I mean, you probably doesn't even do anything. The Yankees are so good, he doesn't even do anything.
Oh, wait, not
Sure.
to back up, but would you,
Starting pitching is
as
incredible.
far as like older NBA players, James Harden? Is that a guy where you'd be like, you'd want him to win one? I don't think
No.
so.
That's
Oh,
it.
no,
No, there are some people who would. I would.
I have
I
a
wouldn't
list
care.
of some of the guys. So Chris Paul, obviously. I hope
Yep.
he doesn't win one. Rudy Gay's out the league. Mike Conley.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Phil.
I don't know if Mike Conley have ever like revered as like, oh my God, Mike Conley. He's
No, but he's been hanging around. He's still
he
a
a-
good player.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I wouldn't imagine.
I think he needs to win one.
So that could be the difference between a Hall of Fame.
I know.
career.
No, you're right, Phil.
I don't know what his averages were like for career-wise. I don't think they were ever that good.
No, but the
Especially
NBA
on
Hall of
guards.
Fame, you don't need to do much. He's well, you're probably right. 11 and 6.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
don't know.
multi-time All-Star. He's got to be, right?
One also. Probably not. Then
Definitely not,
I guess
yeah.
he just misses. 4-time Sportsman of the Year or whatever, of the league or whatever.
He has 0 career technicals.
Zero career.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure, unless he got one. Like
I bet you're
recently.
right. I bet that's funny.
I was looking at the other day, the Yankee manager stats for like all time. Like they didn't. I'm assuming they just didn't track it back then. But Aaron Boone being like the lead for most ejections by a Yankee manager by like 20.
Oh, that's just not true. I can't. Billy Martin was
There's
insane.
no way they were tracking.
Billy Martin was an insane person.
Yeah, at least on Baseball Reference.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yesterday it was the first time in a while. Obviously, Twitter is the worst with like replies. I tweeted that Steele has the 5th best ERA since for the last 2 years, like since 2022.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yes, it
And
is.
People were being like, "Why would I care? It's only 2 years."
Why would you
I
care?
said, "Wow, that's a."
There's a lot of pitchers in baseball.
He's got a 2.8 or a 2.9 or whatever it was in 2 years. I'm like, that's a lot of pitching. And I thought I was getting crazy. I literally had to text him. I was like, "Am I crazy that this is cool?"
I thought
That
it was
is a big deal.
I thought it was an old screenshot at first when I was reading the replies. I was like, no, it's literally what it is the last 2 years.
yeah, yeah. I
If you
know.
look, if you pulled up a screenshot and that was like in August of like last year, been like, okay, maybe it's just an
It's
outdated.
still
stat.
impressive.
It's
Yeah.
impressive, but it's outdated. But that's like a legit stat.
No, I
So,
know.
like, we give awards out for guys who win ERA over a year. This is over the course of 2 years.
yeah,
So
and
the-
5th.
And the guys with the 4 ERAs higher than him entering last night: Max Fried, Sonny Gray, Otani, and Blake Snell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of good list.
Yeah, right. Got it.
Sonny Gray actually is.
Sonny Gray was second in Cy Young last year.
I'm not sure what happened to him on the Yankees.
Yeah.
He just was
I
horrible.
think they fuck with his pitching. The
must
pitching he was
have.
throwing. Like they want him to throw pitches that he wasn't comfortable throwing.
Let's finish up with the NBA Finals. Anyone have any specific bets that they want that are on tonight? Or
Just the Horford one. I like that one a lot. Over 9.5, and I'm on the Celtics money line. And I'm gonna go on my way home and grab a cigar, and I'll be smoking that tonight if they win.
you don't smoke cigars.
I do smoke cigars.
You smoke cigars?
Yeah. I'm not my father-in-law. They're easy to get now, but would go and get me Cubans. It was always very nice.
I smoked a cigar in my fantasy football draft
Is that your first
like
one?
last year.
I don't know why I can't picture you smoking.
I will.
Smoking.
I was
Meek?
gonna,
Oh, Meek, no. How
I
about
was gonna say both of you are probably the only two people that can make cigars not cool.
Okay.
you're so cool, Marty. But that's the
I'm
funny
not
thing.
saying I would.
So
look
I
cool.
acknowledge I'm not cool. I'm an old middle-aged guy with gray hair. But Marty, the level of cool Marty thinks he has, it's wild.
It's a far big level than you.
Sure. Yeah, you're very cool, Marty.
Imagine Meek
Take your hat off, Marty. Show how cool you are.
Sure, I'll take my hat off.
Yeah, take your hat off.
Completely.
There's nothing cool about that.
What's wrong with this?
No, it's fine. It's just you're not cool. You're 30 years old. You're a 30-year-old guy. Like none of us are cool. Right. That's the funny thing is I know I'm not cool. You think you're cool.
Well, it's very easy to see that you're not cool.
It's very easy to see you're not cool.
I understand.
But you think you're really cool.
Do I actually?
I think so.
I don't know if I actually do.
I'll ask you, do you think you're cool?
I don't think. I think I'm very right down the middle of the road.
How about when you're 44? How do you think you're going to be then? When you're my age, you going to be cool?
I think I'll be cooler at 44 than now.
Wow.
Wow. Why? What happens?
I think you don't care as much at 44.
That's true.
Not caring is like the number one thing
Yes,
about being
and that's where
cool.
you get cool.
Some things you care, like you don't care at all about, and then some things when you get old, you care a lot about. It's very weird. I don't know why, and I feel myself kind of doing that.
Things that
Fox
you care
News.
about now make you.
I don't care. I don't care about that. Yeah, I actually care less about. I care more about politics when I was your age than I do now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care about anything.
I can just imagine like Meek Phil smoking like a Black and Mild. It's just like it doesn't compute. Like
No.
I think if I tried to Photoshop that, like it wouldn't let me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
I don't
shut
know.
down.
But tonight, Kendrick, there was a bet that we were saying that the highest points scored in a finals is 61.
Mhm.
There's a bet on DraftKings that's 100-1. If anyone can do that,
Can beat that.
we were saying
In the entire series, if someone just in one game though,
Okay. Yeah.
you have the
the
whole
only
series
person
to play
that can do that is Luka.
with. Of course.
Yeah, because the usage rate alone is
Right.
the
Yeah,
only way. Yeah.
and the Celtics have. This would be the game it would happen.
Scott Foster game, he gets like 5 million free throws.
Also coming off this thing where he kind of needs to show he's like,
Yes,
hey, I am a great player still.
Yeah.
I deserve respect.
100%.
He's gonna cry.
Apologize to his teammates, like you said.
Yes, this is his game.
I think he just shoots a shit ton of threes, and then every single time he drives in, Foster's gonna call foul. He's gonna go to the line,
Yeah.
hit everything.
Stops the clock.
Yeah, stops the
and
clock,
ones. Yeah.
and he'll like drag it out. I think that's actually not a bad idea.
I'm just going Luka over his points tonight. That's like going to be just my one bet.
Let me see.
I'd been doing a max.
I don't hate that, Marty.
I've been doing a Maxi Kleba 1-2-3 bet. It was he needs to get 2 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. And in my brain, I'm like, this guy is 7 feet tall. He can shoot. This has to hit.
Even if
He does not hit
even
ever.
if he plays like 15 minutes, he should get that.
He might be the worst basketball player I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He is unbelievably bad this series.
The line for Luka is 32.5. Does that worry? That's pretty
Oh,
high.
yeah, up.
Up, over.
So-
All right. Kyrie 24.5.
That one I'm nervous about.
Yeah.
I just saw
I could see Luka getting the ball a lot though. I don't hate that at all.
Dave tweeted at Mark Cuban asking him, I'm randomly going to be in Dallas tonight. I know it's your city. I'm planning a big celebration. Where's the best place to pop bottles and stuff? Yeah.
Is
that,
he in Dallas today?
I guess so, yeah. That's what he
He's
said.
going to Dallas. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it'll be a fun time, I'm sure. I did like him very clearly actually getting into Kyrie's head the entirety of that last game in Boston. It was rough.
Yeah, no, it's he's already smoking cigars, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Taking the pictures with the trophy and all that. How much you want to bet Tatum does the Kobe pose with the trophy?
I'll probably just text him
Sure.
or FaceTime him.
I
believe he didn't answer.
I don't acknowledge this happen. I don't know what you guys are referencing.
He's gonna post it and he's gonna be like, "Wow, I guess they mustn't have reception in heaven."
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be the worst post you've ever seen from.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
I choose
What about
not.
the tattoo? You've acknowledged the tattoo. The
I
life
actually-
tattoo.
I don't hate the tattoo as much.
I might like the tattoo.
I don't mind.
Tattoo of
I don't.
Will Smith from his
Yeah, that's
Right,
awesome.
The movie taste isn't great, but I actually like the concept.
But what would make it cool though?
Better movies, but like that's fine. But the concept itself is fine. I choose to not acknowledge the Kobe tweet.
It was those two, John Q, White Men Can't Jump, and The Incredibles.
John Q.
Yeah, John Q, I think was the top one.
The Incredibles one's wild.
Denzel-
John Q is wild.
They're all wild.
John Q is not even a good movie.
Yeah. Like that being the pick.
No, the movie. But the concept of the tattoo is awesome. So I kind of don't mind that.
A movie tattoo, I think.
Yeah, and I think I like that a lot. The Kobe thing is
I mean, movie tattoos.
indefensible.
Everyone gets movie tattoos. I feel like
Yeah.
the amount of people that probably have Stallone on them is insane.
Oh, I can't go wrong with Rocky Balboa.
Who do you
Rocky Balboa is the most. I love no movie character more than him.
Who do you think has, as a character in a movie, who has the most tattoos? He's got to be up there.
Honestly, and this is not, I think, a crazy take. It might be Deadpool because the fans of Deadpool are insane.
I got one. I think.
Yeah.
How about Scarface?
It might be Scarface, yeah. Most
I
tattoos.
think it's
I
Balboa.
feel like you see that everywhere, and it kind of crosses like everyone. Everyone like I don't care what demographic you are, you're into Scarface.
What about that Harry Potter tattoo that all the white women were getting for a long time? You know what I'm talking about? That's not a character though. It's like the symbol. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
get
but
that all the
guys,
Is that
are
that's not a
so-
movie one though? That's a book.
Yeah.
I think Balboa has to be up there. I think Scarface is definitely up there.
Let's see. Most.
It has to be like these iconic movies that have been around a while, right? Like they've both been
Yeah.
around since the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, you need that. Or
Yeah.
Scarface 80s, I know early 80s.
Movie, I'm trying to think. Of
Maybe some Godfather ones.
Yeah, but there's not like something.
I
like,
know.
maybe the cat, him holding the cat.
I was thinking just Brando, but yeah, I guess you're probably right. No, you're right. It's more Rocky.
Because Rocky's just it's Rocky.
I mean,
No.
you say like Batman or Superman, but those are comic books. That's not a movie. Comic books
yeah,
first.
yeah.
It doesn't count.
Yeah.
You love this. Look at this
What
one.
about Star Wars?
Oh, whoops. I went too far.
Star Wars is probably up there, but you have to.
Oh, I love that one.
A Pulp Fiction one.
Hey,
Yeah, that's cool.
Ken Jack showed me a picture of Uma Thurman and John Travolta dancing in Pulp Fiction. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound stupid, but I feel like nerdier people don't get as many tattoos.
I think that's
Depends on the
So I
style
feel
of
like
your-
Although I
Star
think it's,
Wars
like,
isn't
changing.
getting
You're right. Yeah.
a lot. It is changing now.
Yeah,
It's
that's a Star Wars
changing.
one.
Like Robbie has Star Wars as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like when all these like manly men who think they're like get sleeve tattoos.
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Rocky's right here.
Rocky or yeah.
You know.
That's fair.
Crazy thing about Rocky, and I think people don't really realize, they think of it as, because of like the Rocky sequels, it being like a big action blockbuster or something. Like the OG Rocky was like an indie movie. You know what I mean?
It won Best Picture.
That's what
There
I'm
are a
saying.
lot of.
It's
like,
also a fantastic.
And Stallone
What's-
wrote it. Like,
Stallone demanded to be in it.
yeah.
We'll change the sports soon. I'm sorry, but there's one thing that what's a movie today that saw like was looked at it sucked as when it came out, but it's great now. Is it like
Considered great now? And
wasn't like Godfather or is it Scarface that didn't one of them suck?
Scarface was. You know what? Actually,
Scarface.
you know what's a movie that people like got nominated for Razzies was The Shining.
Yeah.
I've never
That's a
seen
movie
that.
people. Oh, it's fantastic. You really should watch it. It's very good.
People are ass wiping the Star Wars prequels now. Like they're trying to act like they were actually like.
Oh, Star Wars got nominated for Best Picture.
No, not the
You hope.
the prequels.
Well, that's a millennial nostalgia.
But that's what I'm saying is like people are now trying to say that it's very good.
No, they're not good.
But yeah, let's go through some baseball. We haven't really.
I have one NBA question I want to ask you guys first.
Okay.
So Jason Tatum could make some history in these playoffs. Since 1980, only 5 players have won a title, leading their teams in points, rebounds, and assists in the whole playoffs. Have any idea who those 5 players are?
LeBron.
Ron did it 3 times.
Jordan,
Jordan never did it.
because the assists.
Rebounds and assists, I don't think. Because
Yeah.
that'd be Rodman and probably.
Well, not the first 3 though. But then B.J. Armstrong was the point guard in the first 3.
There's no Jordan on this list.
Fuck.
No Jordan.
Oh, oh my God, who won last year?
2
Nuggets.
centers.
Oh, Jokic.
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 Is he on the list?
Jokic makes
Jokic
sense.
is on the
right.
list.
He's like triple doubling every fucking night. And then before.
It's more of a modern thing. I feel like
What's the question?
Honestly,
I
go on.
forgot the question.
Giannis might not have
Since
assists.
1980, who are the players that led their teams in points,
Oh.
rebounds, and assists in the whole playoffs?
Bird and Magic.
Bird did it. Magic never did.
Oh,
Rebounds.
Kareem.
Russell Westbrook.
Nope. Well, to win a title, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, win a title. You didn't say title in that last one.
Was it Giannis? Giannis might not have the assists.
Nope. This one did it in the 90s and one did it in the 2000s.
The Drexler. No.
2000, like 2000 to 2010?
Not
2003 and 94.
2003.
So Pistons.
94. So it was Hakeem.
Yep.
Wait, 2003. So that's Pistons.
not the Pistons.
Your previous Lakers?
You're missing a dynasty team.
Spurs?
Yep,
Oh,
Oh.
wait, Duncan?
Duncan. So those
Duncan
are the
led the
5.
team.
So read the list for the 5 guys.
Duncan
So-
assist is crazy.
Yeah.
Duncan.
Since 1980,
Yep.
it's Bird, Hakeem, Duncan, LeBron, Jokic, and Tatum has a 5-point lead on points. He over Jalen. There's a chance he could join that list. If
That
he,
is wild. And all people say is how bad he is in the playoffs. That is
he
insane.
can lead a team.
What a
points, rebounds, and
fucking
assists.
list to be on. That is incredible. But no one wants to acknowledge that. And he's not even going to win MVP.
Can I ask though, what are the numbers, like the raw numbers of that versus like LeBron's? Because I feel like I would imagine.
Well, LeBron's only got on his list to do it multiple times. He did it 3 times.
Yeah, but
Wow,
I imagine
really?
he had like 2 more
Jesus
assists and rebounds and
Christ.
probably more points than
Well,
Tatum had. Because this is like a significantly better overall team.
I don't have the raw numbers, but I do know LeBron was close to doing it with the Lakers. I think Kuzma had AD had 2 more points than the
Dude,
whole playoffs.
If he lost out one of those to Kuzma, that would be just miserable.
I think Kuzma had like a goaltender fucked him. That's what I was reading through the Reddit replies.
Okay, gotcha.
LeBron did it 3 times.
3 of his 4 titles, and it could have been the 4th one too.
Insanely good basketball.
That's what that's what I mean. Like the LeBron. I mean, I know Marty loves him a lot. I still say Jordan's number 1, but I mean the
It's not
LeBron
that-
dominance is incredible.
It's not that crazy to realize like MJ never did that just because like the rebounds was Rodman.
Oh no, but Robin's only did for 3 of them. I mean, Jordan won 3 titles without Rodman.
True.
With Pippen, who was also incredibly good.
But Pippen wasn't getting rebound. I mean, he was a great defensive player. Don't get me wrong. But you also had like Bill Wen. Also, the game was kind of different then.
But Bird doing it's like
Bird could do everything. It was crazy. Yeah. And then Magic had had Kareem. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, wait. So baseball?
Yeah, let's get into a little bit of baseball. Baseball is very weird this year, in my opinion. I think that there's, I would say, 3 powerhouses or 4.
Dodgers, Yankees, Orioles,
Phillies.
Phillies.
Yeah, so 4. I forgot actually the Phillies. So I would say 4 powerhouses, 2 and 2.
I don't care. Some could say the Guardians. I don't count them.
I don't count them as like I'm not
I understand the
scared
argument.
of the Guardians.
Right.
You know, like listen, I fucking hate the Orioles, but I can admit when they're very good.
Yes.
And the Dodgers are obvious, and then the Phillies are obvious, and the Yankees are obvious. After that, there's like a tier of, I would say, Guardians, Braves. You would almost have to put like the Royals in there. Record
maybe. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's I mean, the Mariners too. The Mariners can't hit. The Royals are so. Brewers also have. Yeah, I guess
they're all in a mix. Like the Braves, I think are like a little higher. 'Cause
so hurt.
They're so hurt, but with everything, like I think it's powerhouse, and it's just like
Some question
murky
marks.
waters, and then it's dog shit.
Yes.
Like
Well, it's not even dog shit. It's like mediocrity.
Mediocrity, yeah. Like the NL is.
It's just mediocrity.
So obviously I watch the Cubs a ton now, and they're been playing really. Their pitching staff. Phil, do me a favor, look up their starting 5 ERA and where they are in the league. I can guarantee it's
What, like
up.
starting pitcher ERA?
Yeah, just do. Yeah.
I guarantee it's up there as like one of the best.
Well, you have Shota.
They have Shota. Assad's like a 2-something. Steele and Tyone's like a combined like 3 together.
You gotta remember too, though, Marty. One thing to keep in mind is pitching is way up this year. Hitting is way down.
No,
This
I
is
know
one
it
of this is starting to track as like one of the least offensive years in modern
It's
baseball.
also bad for baseball.
Which is weird because like that's
Yeah.
I figure the rules are all to kind of boost those numbers up.
Yeah, and it's also for fans. Fans love runs.
Like eliminating the shift.
Exactly. Yeah.
People thought the pitch clock would help offense. It hasn't really made a difference either way.
I think that fucking makes the pitchers like. I know it sucks for some pitchers, but like I think some pitchers love a fast. Just keep going. Where some batters like to take their time, go like
Omar
that,
Garcia
like,
Parra and
yeah,
all
like
that,
take
yeah.
their time. I don't know.
Up
It's
in the count on them and like you press them and they.
Phil,
don't
did you
kind of
get that?
cover.
Fangraphs is taking a bet for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, just let me know when you get it.
So
the top
starter
6
ERA, I
teams.
got it right now.
All right.
So the Yankees are number 1 at 2.78, as you know.
2.78. Let that sink in for a second. The Yankees have a starting rotation ERA of 2.78.
Yeah,
That's insane.
that's honestly
That's
it's
the
only,
average.
I mean, Marty,
And also, I'm not sure if anyone
No Cole.
knows this. Garrett Cole's not pitching.
That is
And
insane.
I'll tell you who it is. it's Luis Hill.
That's pitching
Because
tonight.
like Stroman is like exactly where I like Stroman's pitching way better than I thought.
For sure. People thought he'd be bad.
Rodon's back.
Rodon's been fantastic.
Who we signed Rodon for.
Mark Schmidt.
Clark Schmidt, who's
got hurt?
He's hurt now, but like he was pitching well. And then Nestor's like, very average.
I honestly, Marty, I'll give you it. I mean, we do say pitching is up this year. I would say he's even maybe slightly above average so far.
Yeah,
How about that?
I think
He doesn't do well against good teams though, but he dominates bad ones.
Listen, he was the one he was the one I was putting in the bullpen if Cole came back, if Schmidt wasn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Phil, what's
I just want to point this out. So starting pitcher ERA. So there's a big three here. Yankees 2.78, Phillies 2.85, Orioles 2.99.
Jesus.
So you have three teams that are like really, really high. 4, it's a steepish drop. You get the Red Sox at 3.4. So
Because Tanner Houck's having an insane year.
you almost have half a run better than the rest of the league from those three teams to the next one. Mariners 3.41, Dodgers 3.50, Rangers 3.53. Then you got the Cubs at 8th with 3.54.
so 3.54?
Yeah.
A 3.54, and they're just like, and they're
Keep in mind too, for the Cubs, they had Kyle Hendricks make 7 starts to them with a 9
Yeah.
ERA. That's why those numbers
yes,
seem
yes.
seem odd.
That's where I was gonna say. I was like that. It should be lower because
It
I
should
was
be.
looking at the stars.
current 5 guys. Well, Ben Brown's hurt, but those 5 guys are elite.
Yeah.
Also, just tossing this out, the Mets are 24th with a 4.53.
Jesus.
By the way, just looking at this
Embarrassing.
2.9 ERA, this would be the lowest that they've had since 1981.
Yeah.
It's like
It's a strike year, by the
With
way.
adding, we're
With Dave Righetti winning Rookie of the Year with a 2.05
legitimately
ERA.
adding the best pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, no, the Cubs are a team where they're a game and a half out of the wild card, where then you also have the Reds that are a game and a half out.
Half game out for the Reds.
Half game. You have
Cubs are actually only game out.
game out, and they've been playing awful, but their pitching has been keeping, like last night, Steele, 6 innings, no runs. First guy comes back in, 3 runs.
Not just 6 innings, no runs. 6 I don't think he had a walk, right?
He had 1 walk.
1 walk at the end. If you watch the game, easy motion, dominant, just complete
3
dominance.
hits. All 3 hits were less than 70 miles an hour off the bat.
They're all singles too, I think, right?
Off 70 miles off the bat. Yeah, everything was 65 miles an hour, 68. But yeah, it's just baseball, I think, is a little weird this year.
Very weird season.
And I like it because my team is truly, like I say this, the Yankees go up 10-0 and I go put on the Cubs. That's literally what I do. It's crazy. They lost last night. Clay Holmes blew that one, but like that's gonna happen. I said it was almost good for the Yankees.
I agree.
Get a little turmoil in
Did
there.
it.
Can't win everything.
Great teams lose games that way, like 1-run games. You can tell if great teams go back to run differential, but it's exactly the kind of games. Now, obviously, it becomes a trend where Clay Holmes is blowing games left and right. Well, that's a problem. But that's exactly how great teams win series. They win the first 2 games by a lot, and then they end up kind of getting that.
It's funny how like baseball, like okay, the Yankees are an incredible team. And then you look around, it's like, oh, well, they have 3 holes in the infield, some holes in the bullpen. They can get better. It's like you're on pace for 100-some wins. Even the Phillies, like they have holes like in their lineup everywhere, and they're like just as good.
The Yankees have a run differential of 20 runs better than the second team.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
That's
Right.
insane.
And that second team is who?
The Orioles.
So that's just American League, or is that
No, everyone.
that's the Phillies in the in too?
Phillies are plus 103,
What are the Yankees?
plus 127.
Jesus. And the Phillies are beating the shit out of
The
teams.
Orioles are plus 107. But the thing is, like the so Atlanta's plus 28. Like
Yeah.
St. Louis Cardinals are in second in the NL Central. They're minus 38.
Yeah, and they have a record of 33 and 34, which tells me, is that fraudulent?
33 and 33 and
The
34.
NL Central is fucking. Last place is 32 and 36. Second place is 33 and 34.
No. I mean, you have so the Mets right now. The Mets are not a good baseball team. I've been saying that for a while, right? The Mets are 3 games out of the wild card. They're 30 and 37. But for them to get the wild card, they jump over 7 teams.
Yeah.
You have 8 teams all bunched together, and they're all like basically 500 or worse.
So that's why.
Kinda gross.
And then the All-Star breaks up in a month, right? So July is when's the trade deadline?
It's
July
like-
30th.
yeah.
July 30th is the trade deadline. So July will start trades. After July 4th, trades will start happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. I would say like
I think someone's gonna pull the. This is what I said in my blog last week. The Mets should trade guys now. Now it's tough to do from a PR perspective, but I mean, who are we fooling? And the first team that's willing.
What do you even need? You know, like just you're not a team you're a
No.
selling team.
Like and if you sell now, you'll get more back because you're the first team to pull that trigger.
Yeah.
Because there's more teams are more afraid to make that call.
And they know that like you're not as like you don't need to get rid of them. You know, like it's some teams are. I don't know, but that means that some teams at the trade deadline are so desperate that you can almost sometimes get more.
No, but yeah, I agree with Marty. But also, it's like let's say a team wants
both. It depends. Also, if you get Pete Alonso, now you're getting Pete Alonso for an extra 6-7 weeks that you wouldn't get if you got.
You're right about that. I'm just saying, like when a team is like, say, Pete Alonso's the only one still on the board, and like the Cubs really need somebody, they might overpay or might give.
They can, but on the flip side, now there's more teams or more hitters available. The market becomes bigger. Right now, it's a seller's market. Is that going to be the case in 8 weeks or 7 weeks?
That's also where I'm excited to see where these mediocre teams that like the Mets. If you said take the record out of it, you don't know that record.
Okay,
they're 3.5 games out. They're 3 games out on July 20th.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You're like, realistically, you're not a seller there. You're buying to.
But if you tell me I got to climb over 7 teams to get there.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. When you just black and white 3 games in July 20th, you're like, we're buying.
Yeah, we're in. Yeah.
But when you have 7 teams like that, you also have teams. That's where you're like, what teams are going to be like, all right, we're just selling. And I think a lot of teams are going to sell.
I don't know.
What are the teams that are above the Mets that think like they're an actual team? Like, what are the teams that think in their hearts like, oh, we have a team that we're going to buy? That we think this is a team we're pushing all our
I could see. Here's
that the Mets can offer. You know what I mean? Like who would be the Mets like top 3 offers, like players that they should ship out?
Severino, Alonso. You can make a case for Sean Manaea. You can make a case for Harrison Bader. Who am I forgetting, Phil?
I'm just saying, outside of Severino, I guess Alonso. Those are probably the only guys that are going to get Yankees back.
Bader, you're not.
You're going to have to package some other guys.
Yeah, you pack them together, and like that's fine.
Also, Alonso, just something on him. His OPS is only 4 points higher than Starling Marte. Like, Pete Alonso's not having a good season.
No, but how it is. That's a
that's just
the Mariners have an on-base percentage right now, or at least I'll check it right now. It was 299 a couple days ago for a team. They need any offense.
Pete
298 right now.
Pete can make a lot of teams better. I'm just saying he himself. We're not talking about a guy that's hitting 50 home runs this year.
No, but for a guy that if you put him on a lineup that he can be protected in, and not like he's the legit only guy. Him and Lindor are the only 2 people that can like hit the baseball on the Mets consistently. If you really
JD Martinez.
JD Martinez. Oh, that's another guy you could trade too. Yeah. And the other thing you got to remember too about Alonso and with JD is that if you're a small market team, you don't need to pay him for the rest of the year. So he's literally available to every guy. Where it gets different, gets cloudier if you have to have if these guys have big contracts.
I'm gonna be honest.
This is a 3-month commitment.
I think the Cubs are gonna buy. I think
so too.
I think they should because they do have a good pitching staff. They were supposed to be good this year, you know. Like everyone thought they would be pretty good. I thought they'd be pretty good, not like great.
Just remind, they were under 500 at this point last year, I believe, too. So it's.
I think people had thought it'd be about the same as last year.
Second,
the same roster as last year.
Well, Shota.
I guess. Well, here's the deal. No one knew Shota was going to be this.
Yeah. I think
if you told me before the season,
I think I meant like during the first like 20 games, everyone's like, "Oh shit, the Cubs."
The Cubs could be. Yeah, Cubs have something here.
Because that was also when Steele was hurt. They were playing well, and everyone. They've been very hurt this season, a lot. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who's buyers, who's sellers, who's whatever at that market. And it's also like the Yankees are in a weird spot. I think I don't know what they do. You know, like
you get some bullpen pieces.
Definitely bullpen, but they're saying like maybe even like Alonso because Rizzo's been struggling.
Rizzo's horrible. I mean, Rizzo's horrible, and then maybe it's
I love him.
Concussion stuff.
Love him.
He's beloved in the clubhouse.
Yeah,
so that's kind of a dangerous thing. Do you cut him and then risk alienating your clubhouse, or do you keep this guy who can't play baseball anymore on your roster?
Here's a name to keep an eye on if you get.
You only have 26 guys in the roster.
I know. I think you keep
next few weeks. Josh Bell can make a team better if he gets going because that's a sweat cheddar.
I guess
he's been traded the last 2 years.
But wouldn't you rather have Alonso I guess JD Martinez if you have that DH spot open though?
I think there's a 1% chance the Yankees trade for Pete Alonso. I don't think there's a tax you have to pay if you're the Yankees, like just trading him across town, but I don't think
I agree with you. I don't think
there's any world where Pete Alonso
I wouldn't say any world. Be careful with that. I think you're probably right.
There's 1% world. Like
Yeah, I don't think he will either. I think he'll go.
I think he's going to go to the Mariners. I think the Mariners need to make some big moves because their pitching is elite and their hitting is
not even
historically
I
bad.
know I keep bringing up this team,
I love him.
but you ever just picture people in uniform?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't picture him in a Mariners one at all.
So-
I could see him in a Cubs one, like it's like.
Well, it's closer. They look.
I think it's
similar.
close. It's
Yeah, yeah.
like the Mariners. He just doesn't look good. Oh,
What about
Also,
the
Clemmer,
Rangers?
this is a question. Take emotion out of it. Pete Alonso, would you give him $200 million this winter?
How many years?
However
Like
many
eight
years.
8 for 200. Is that what we're saying? Or
8,
7 for like
'cause
210 or something?
His demand is $200 million. That's why they didn't lock him up last year. They offered him 8 years, 150. He turned it
you
down.
should have taken that.
If Pete Alonso enters free agency, will he get $200 million?
No.
I say no right now. Unless the year he has improves. I think this year, like you said, Phil, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
He's slugging 459 right now.
Yeah, because you're looking at a guy the last 2 years, slightly above average, not really good in the field, not really good at running the bases. You should have taken 150.
100% should have taken that.
The only thing, so
But I also do understand betting on yourself. Like he could have had another.
Yeah,
good
you saw the
year.
guy across town do it and saw what happened there.
Well, yeah, he's a 10,000 times better.
And he probably
Yeah.
thinks he's just as good as him.
He
well,
probably
we
does.
don't know what he probably thinks.
I think
Let's
he
stop with that. OPS plus, his Alonso's 125, which is pretty good. That's the other thing you got to remember is that no one other than Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, a couple of these guys, a lot of guys aren't hitting.
It's pretty good, Clemmer, but it's not like
200
$200 million good. Like, it's pretty good.
I think that's
It's
fair.
not great. It's pretty good.
I guess to 130, you start having that discussion though.
$200 million. You're like, this is one of our guys.
Think about, like, Matt Olson got, like, 150. I think Goldschmidt around there, too. Freddie around there.
But that was a long time ago.
This is, like
Goldschmidt got that money a while ago. That's a
Goldschmidt,
bad
forget
comp.
Goldschmidt. A lot. Olson and Freddie.
Yeah,
That's recent. That's 2 years.
yeah, that's fair. But a lot of it depends also who else is out there. Like this Juan Soto is going to get an insane amount of money from somebody. But then there's going to be suitors that don't get Juan Soto that are going to have extra money to burn.
Well, let's say Cody Bellinger drops out. Who'd you rather give a contract to, Cody Bellinger or Pete Alonso?
I think because he could play two positions.
Bellinger's more versatile, and I think he could be a better hitter.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, that's a tough call. That's
Both,
a tough call.
But yeah, I think also the Yankees are going to give Juan Soto like $600 million.
I feel like Alonso's skills will mature better. I feel
I'm
like
not
that.
even
like,
kidding.
Those are old man skills that he has.
If the Yankees gave Juan Soto $1 billion, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Makes perfect.
100% sense.
I think they
It really
pull-
does. Like he's so young.
I've never seen someone like. Obviously, I've seen Aaron Judge. Like he's so good, whatever. But like his at bats are just like must watch every single time. It's incredible.
Juan Soto has a slugging on base percentage of 433.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not
In a year when no one's hitting the baseball
That's
besides
not
him
a-
and Aaron Judge.
That's not a real number at all.
Either a walker or like a fucking homer. Or
Yeah.
It's like it's literally it.
But you know what? You say it's not a real number, and I know you're saying you're kidding around, but like he's also had on base in the past of 490 and 465. For him, it is absolutely a real number.
Crazy.
And like his career is 422.
If you had to choose
He's Ted Williams
out of the NL, you want the Dodgers or Phillies?
as a fan.
Like World Series.
Who I'd rather see?
And who do you think is like? Do you think the Phillies will bottom out a little bit? Do you think the Dodgers will just get better?
The Dodgers will get better.
I think the Dodgers will just get better
The
too.
Dodgers go on like one of those like
Yeah.
85 and like 20
Like
runs
I feel like
every
the
year.
Dodgers haven't even been playing that well, and they're still fucking
They
unbelievable.
haven't. And Walker Buehler. So let's talk about Walker Buehler for a second. He has 7 starts, coming off injuries, a 4.64 ERA. He's going to find himself in the next 2 months. That gives him an ace there. James Paxton, yeah, all right, he's probably going to get hurt. He always does. But then you got Gavin Stone, Yamamoto, Glasnow. Kershaw is going to be coming back in August. I think the Dodgers are underperforming right now, despite being on pace for 97 wins.
Yeah,
They're underperforming.
I think the same thing.
So there's one Juan Soto thing I want to bring up. There was 28 execs that were polled as to what Juan Soto would get in free agency. Two people say he'd get under $400 million. There's one person that
That's
said
just
8
stupid.
years, 296.
I mean, that's just dumb.
And
That's someone trying to water down the market.
And one is said 10 years, 350. A lot of people said around $400 million. There's a few that said 14 years, 600, 12 years, 605, 10 years, 655.
Clip this if you want, or I don't know if it's that exciting, but there's no way Juan Soto that starts less than the number 5.
There's
Oh.
one. That says,
No way.
There's one guy that said 1 year, $50 million, which.
Why would he do that though?
How
never
much
agreed
money
to
in a
that.
1 year deal would it take to get Juan Soto? You think?
But if you're him, you only.
100.
Like, as I said,
I was gonna say 85,
I was
but
like
like,
1 year, 85. I mean,
but like,
I think
why
the
would you do
number-
that though if you're him?
I do think the number was in there. 12 for 605.
I think that is so much more realistic than a lot of the other things he set out.
Even 12 for 625.
especially after what Ohtani got.
Because what Ohtani was what?
10 years, 700. But
And that's a guy who pitches.
And that's the guy who also had a lot of it deferred.
yeah.
Yeah. I think 12.
The actual value of that contract is far less than the 700.
12 for 625. I would sign me up right now.
I don't think there's any. Is there any amount of money on a 1 year deal that he would even accept because he could get the security?
No.
No, yeah. I don't
You only do that if there's no other suitors.
I
There's
mean-
going to be like a line around the block.
Every team.
Yes!
Will have
If
an
Like Blake Snell.
Not every team because he's fucking shitty ass owners.
yeah.
If there's 1 year, 100 million, it's kind of hard to turn down.
Yeah, but why would anyone all? It doesn't make any sense. It also fucks up your luxury. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Imagine the A's just go, we'll give you 15 years, $1 billion.
And you take it. Also, because you figure, all right, we're going to be in Vegas soon.
Yeah.
We'll give you 10% of our team. Just play for us until you.
Well, listen,
Oh, that's the dangerous. No, you make a good point. We are in a world of sports. This isn't just a baseball thing, where people are going to start putting equity on the table.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you might see the next strike happening because of that.
Because like
The owners are going to flip out. One owner's going to do it, and he's going to piss everyone off.
yeah.
Because once equity's on the table, then the whole game changes.
I mean, dude, it's funny. Like Mahomes is doing that for other sports.
Yeah.
Like he owns some of the Royals. Like he's like
Yeah.
trying to do it in any other sport.
We
Which
saw Jeter. We
but
saw
I
we
do
see
think
A-Rod with
it
the
is-
Timberwolves.
I don't. How can you get equity in? Because then you're never allowed to leave.
But if you're
it's weird because it's almost in a way, in my brain anyway, it makes sense because you want the player to be as invested as humanly possible.
Correct.
If you're not any more invested than if you're literally invested in the team. You need
Yeah.
people to come there. They only come there if you're good and if you're actively going out and helping recruit other players to your team.
Yeah.
Nothing will make you more invested. But at the same time, like you're saying, the other owners will just never allow
Okay, so let's do this. In the NFL right now, what player besides Mahomes, obviously it's Mahomes, would you actually want to give that to your team?
equity,
Equity. Because equity means
I honestly,
that
if I'm an
you are
owner, I
gonna
don't
be
give, you
there-
can't give it to anyone.
No,
But
I
if
know
you have
can't,
to break
but
that.
You have to. What I'm saying is
Mahomes.
Mahomes is the only
is
guy.
the only guy because you've already got 3 out of him. He's going to be there for at least
10.
8 to 10 more years.
Right.
At least 8 is no matter what 8.
I
10, I would say even 10 to 12 more years you're going to get out of this guy because he doesn't get hit anymore. So besides him, I don't think there's anybody.
In my head, it's like if I was like the Bills owner, like I would want Josh Allen to be invested in the team.
Yeah, I
Not
guess.
because I think he's like Mahomes level quarterback or anything like that, but just because like he's a guy in a smaller city like Buffalo, like that's just the only thing they have. For him.
Yeah, but like regardless, besides that, like nobody, because like when you do that, this guy's on your team until he's dead.
What about Justin Tucker?
Absolutely not.
But the Bills. So then you have the question of like, and we're kind of going down a rabbit hole, but it's a Friday, it's a Sunday. Bills are worth $3.7 billion. So you're like, all right, if I gave you 5% equity or even like 10% equity, that's 10% is huge.
It wouldn't do that.
It wouldn't.
Even
And
like one.
I was thinking the same thing. That's where I would start. Right, I would start like
Even a
very
0.5%.
low single digits. Right.
Like it'd have to
Lower the
be.
salary cap because like that would cheats that.
But
too.
there are rules too. Right. So you have to figure out how that all works. And I remember when Michael Jordan was going to play for the Wizards, there was all this sort of talk of like, you can't own the team and play for it. There are rules in place about that. You'd have to like rework the CBA. You have to rework some of the language that involves owning a team.
Yeah.
It's really interesting stuff, but I'm not going to lie. I think before we're dead, this is something that is at least debated, discussed, and offered.
I think it's just too many problems come with it.
A lot of problems come with it. Also, and then when the owner...
Players, what happened? Just hypothetical. It's not going to happen whatsoever. Mahomes is amazing. They give him equity.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't really need to work out anymore. I'll be whatever. Like, and he just like is average, and you're just like, you're fucked. Like,
It's almost the opposite.
or if you give it to somebody else that you don't is really starting off at 2 great years, and then they kind of have a downfall. That
get
happens.
hurt, have a downfall.
Yeah, or hurt, like literally get hurt. This guy's got fucking equity now. That's why I don't think it'll ever happen.
And the other thing too is a lot of these families feel like they owe it to their kids, their the grandchildren.
Yes.
That's kind of what their inheritance is in a lot of ways. Because when you sell that team, then you make all this back. But then again, as we see in sports, more and more teams being owned by conglomerates, by companies.
Yeah.
So there's less of that attachment to have it be something you pass down. So I think because of that reason, you would see potentially equity being offered out. Which
Like to me, like if I'm like as a Chargers fan, if they're like, yeah, you can either have an investor of like Justin Herbert owning 2.5% of the Chargers, or like an LA slumlord conglomerate owning. I'm like, I'd rather have Herbert. You know what I mean? It just in my head, it makes more like it's more of a fan thing.
Sure.
And he's more invested again to give us a better team, a better experience, a better everything because he makes money based on how well the team does both like on the field and then off the field too. So like all that stuff is like, he's directly invested in now. You know?
Yeah, it's a very interesting like sports management like discussion and thought. But I think this is going to definitely come up sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Let's do our picks right now. Clemmer, you start.
All right. Yankees. My pick of the day is Yankees first 7. They just have to have the lead, so minus half a run. It's minus 125. You got Louis Heel, who is incredible. I think he has a 1.20 ERA since May 1st, something insane like that. Going up against Brian Bayo, who is a pitcher I kind of like. Let's talk about about this guy. But he's a 2-pitch pitcher, and he hasn't learned that third pitch, and he's been getting rocked. I think in his last 5 starts, he has an ERA over 6. And this Yankees lineup is just devastating. So I like that play. The other picks I'm on, I talked about Celtics money. Oh, sorry. Celtics plus. This is weird, Marty. I want to talk to you about this real quick. Mm-hmm. So the Celtics plus 1 is minus 115. Celtics money line is minus 110. I think this, like, why wouldn't I just grab the point at that point? Like,
Yeah,
even
that
though,
point.
like,
You definitely grab.
of course. So, like,
Good
it's
push.
kind of a free point. So grab that, I guess. But obviously, I think the Celtics, are going to win because they always beat the Mavericks, at least they have so far. And I like Al Horford plus 9.5. In case Celtics have a big lead, I can see them just giving them the ball, and that's plus 120.
Mm-hmm. I have Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. No runs first inning, minus 120. 24th worst first inning offense in Tampa Bay, 17th worst first inning offense in Atlanta, and they've been getting worse just every game.
Minus Acuna.
Yep, since losing Acuna. Littell versus Sale. Both sub 3 OBP in the first inning, both sub 2.25 for batting average, both low ERAs too. So like I think it just feels like a no-brainer.
I'm going with the Cubs. They legitimately just have to win.
The Cubs.
Yankees minus 1.5. I'm gonna go with the Marlins. They can just beat the Nationals. That's not a crazy thing at plus 140. The only problem is
Kenzie Gore's pretty good.
he's not bad. But the only problem is that the Marlins don't know who they're pitching yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that play, Marty. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I gotta get them before you know.
Yeah,
Or actually wait till they put a pitcher in because they might go higher.
Mackenzie Gore is good. I really like Mackenzie Gore. The Nationals offense stinks.
Oh, so you said Bradley for the Rays sucks,
Well, he did until yesterday.
but I think you're wrong. You know why?
Yeah, sure. I'll hear it out.
Because I don't think he's great. His ERA is, what is his ERA?
Well, it's still about 5, right? It went down yesterday.
It was his career high in Ks.
Oh, no, it's 4.23 now. Excuse me.
And guess what? He had one game against the Orioles that he let up 9 runs.
You're right. He also had another one against Boston out of 5. But that's
But 5's like 9 fucks up your ERA.
We'll see. He has a career area of 5.22 in 20
He's not
starts.
great. I'm not.
And he's a highly touted prospect. He's been very disappointing.
Yes,
he's been frustrating for me.
Like
as
yesterday,
a
you're
fan.
like, and that's the Cubs' lineup. But it's like,
But you're right, Marty. No, that's fair. So you look at his last 2 starts. Against Baltimore, a second time, he did really well.
yeah,
And he did face well against the Cubs. So maybe he's only 23. Maybe he's figuring it out.
yeah. And I'm going with the Padres tonight, minus 110. Knuckleballer going against.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, against the Mets.
Against Manaea.
I know. And Manaea's been getting, man, boy, Phil, right? When Manaea gives it up, woo, does he give it up?
Manaea's good for 3 innings.
Oh,
and then
Jesus.
second time through, it's over.
This one seems like a little bit of a trap. The Tigers are even against the Astros.
Well, it's scoop ball.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. That I think that they should be favored.
Hunter Brown's been a lot better.
Yeah, but
Hunter Brown was so bad to start the year, and he's starting to figure it
5-5.
out.
You know, like he's still got a 5.
I know, but look at those last few starts.
But Scooble's been like, he's a
Scooble's a Cy Young, yeah.
They're 1-9 right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tigers.
I don't hate it.
Just even.
Hunter Brown, by the way, his last 4 starts, he hasn't given up 3 runs or more than 3 runs in a start. He's been pretty good.
Last night I actually had one more thing to talk about.
2.5 ERAs
Last night I'm pretty sure the White Sox were favorites going into the game, and they won.
A crochet.
And that's what they say the Yankees are going to get.
Well, you'd have to give up a. That would hard.
It's just like all the the articles that people are fucking
He's so the thing is he's been hurt a lot in his career, so he's only on the hook for 2.5 more years, but he's still pretty cheap. But man, oh man.
I know.
I think you're better off trading a pitcher before his arm blows out, honestly.
Trading what? Oh, like you mean the White Sox should trade Crochet?
Yeah.
Well, the White Sox trade Crochet. They're not going to be good in 3 years anyway. It doesn't matter.
Should
That's
trade
what I
everybody.
mean.
But they should trade everyone. They should. They should trade the fucking the clubhouse attendant. It doesn't matter. Trade everyone.
Well,
What's his
Cole
name?
may not have value.
What's his name's
You're
coming
wrong about
back?
that. I heard he's no.
More value than half the team players.
What if he's just an asshole?
What's his name? Eloy?
Eloy.
Eloy's
Coming
playing.
back?
He's
back.
He's not good, but he's in Arizona Complex League rehabbing.
Yeah.
I thought he was back. Who am I?
No, he had,
Robert.
Robert's back. Excuse me, Marty. I'm sorry.
Robert's
You're right, Marty. I
the
apologize.
prize chip,
Yeah.
because when he's on, he could be like one of the top 5 or 10 best players in the league, and we just don't know because he's on the White Sox.
yeah.
Eloy's played 38 games this year. 36 games, and he's been terrible.
If you would put Luis Robert in a city like L.A., New York, Philly, for a team that actually cares, there would be a lot of oh, he's really that guy.
100%.
I don't know if you could even trade for Eloy. Maybe he's like he's not even good defensively. I don't know what you do with him.
I know.
That's a mess.
Also, my pick tonight, give me Connor Joe home run plus 500 revenge game versus former Colorado Rockies.
Ooh. Ryan Feldner in Colorado, too. I like that, Phil.
Wait, Connor Joe's a guy where the first time he came with the bat that I saw him, I heard the name and then saw the face. I was so surprised.
Yeah.
It's not what I expected.
You didn't think Connor Joe?
Not what a guy named Connor Joe what I expected him to look like.
Bill Simmons has the Reggie Cleveland All-Stars. Reggie Cleveland was a white guy. It was like guys you don't expect to look
Yeah.
like.
You would think Connor Joe works here.
Exactly, yeah. there is definitely a person named Connor Joe that works.
Yeah.
that is a very Barstool name.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I also liked Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Nerfy. I feel like that's a sneaky great game. Hunter Green versus Freddie Peralta. Yeah.
2 very good pitchers.
Yeah.
I always get worried with the
Well, you
Reds,
know,
though, because
if-
Ellie gets on base, and he
That's the problem.
steals 2 bases. Now he's on third base. Like,
If he
fuck.
gets on base, but that's 2 of the, again, bottom tier first inning offenses.
If Rico was on the show, I think he would have walked out of the room if you said that.
If he said what?
If you said nerfy.
He doesn't like the term nerfy.
No one's first inning, Bosco.
Yeah, you better watch out.
Yeah,
He'll
you
kill
gotta
you.
be careful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't steal from Novel.
Yeah. Right.
All right, that's the show. Next week's gonna be a lot of moving pieces.
Weird week for us.
I won't be on here on Monday. I'm flying to
Neither will
Chicago.
Smitty.
Yeah.
I think we're actually competing at the same time we're on. Or
Yeah,
maybe
I-
not. Maybe it's an hour off.
I don't fucking know what's going on next week. but
Some
we-
shows are here. Some shows are in Chicago next week.
Yes. So we will. We'll see you guys next week. But Monday will be Bosco and Ev here. So look out for that. And the dozen will be live all next week. So watch out for that as well.
Go Celtics! Go Celtics! Go Celtics!
No.